be focused on onboarding, all things onboarding, because like I said last week, our team is growing exponentially. We have new members, new associates every single day, every single week. And we really need to make sure that we are all onboarding our new associates and our new members the same way every single time. Consistency and is key. Consistency and uniformity, I should say, is key, because we are building a brand. Team New Horizons is a brand. And so we have to be consistent with our messaging, with our activities, and how we treat and how we onboard our members and our associates. So I'm going to, and Mr. Buford, please feel free to chime in at any point. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to pull up our website. So if you haven't had a chance to peruse through our website, I highly recommend that you do. A lot of really good content, and more is being added every single day. All right, so when you onboard a new associate, or when you onboard a new member, this is the homepage, the first place that you want to go to. And we'll do a separate training call one of these days, maybe in another week or two, just going over the website in detail, so we're all on the same page about that. But when you onboard a new member or a new associate, you want to go to TNH Training Camp Onboarding. Okay. And it says here, the way to build rapid success in this business is by getting off to a fast start. The foundation of a fast start is the proper onboarding of both new members and new associates. So anytime you onboard a new member or a new associate, start here. Okay, and if you have any questions, obviously reach out to your leadership. So for new members, it's important that you onboard your new members within 24 to 48 hours after enrollment. And the reason why that's so important is because it only takes but a second for your new members to basically forget about having even signed up. So we really have to keep them close to the fire. The sooner that we onboard them, and the sooner that we show them the app and how easy it is to use and how easy it is to call their attorney, the sooner we show them that, and they get comfortable with actually having the membership and using the membership, the more likely they are to provide referrals. And as we know, this is a referral business, okay? A referral-based business. And so we want to, the end game is always to get referrals, all right? So if and when you can, do a Zoom onboarding session, or even better, an in-person onboarding meeting if you can. Obviously, if you can't, then you can do it over the phone, but definitely take the time within 24 to 48 hours after you enroll them, schedule a meeting, get them on the calendar to walk them through step by step how to use the app, how to set up their account, how to use that, set up the app, download the app, set up the app, how to download member perks, and how to take advantage of those savings. All right, so I just outlined step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on exactly what to do. And if you have any questions, let us know. So step 1, have your new member locate and retrieve their welcome email, which includes their member number, provider law firm, contact information, the link to their member account, and the link to download the app. And you've all seen these welcome emails before because we're all members. So make sure that they retrieve that welcome email. And if you have to, you will also have already received their member number in your back office, so you can have that on the ready as well. Step 2 is direct them to the member account link. So it's just accounts.legalshield.com. Help them to set up their username and password, and they'll use that same username and password for all their Legal Shield stuff. Okay, and then once they're logged in, show them the left-hand side menu that has their what plan they're subscribed to, their payment information, or payment method. If they have any other people on their plan, things like that. Just show them, help them navigate through that site. And then step 3 is then you're going to have them download the actual app. So they can either download the app straight from their welcome email, or they can just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and search Legal Shield or ID Shield. Okay, and then have them use the same credentials to keep it simple. We don't want to complicate this. Have them use the same login credentials that they created when they set up their account. Okay, and then so it's really important once they do get the app working, make sure that you show them how to request a consult. Walk them through even some of the drop-down menu options like traffic, consumer dispute, bankruptcy, will questionnaires, show them some of the options so that they can see which ones might relate to them at that time. Show them how to upload documents. So like actually go through the process of requesting a consult. Show them how to upload documents in the event that they need to do that. Show them how to schedule a callback. Show them where the emergency access button is, which is right under when you hit call law firm. It's the big red button. You can't miss it. So show them how and when to use that emergency access button. And then, of course, show them how to start their will questionnaire. Now, we know that they can fill out a paper version if they're more comfortable with that, especially if they're a little bit older. They can fill out a paper version, but we want to, as much as possible, direct them to filling out the questionnaire on the app to keep it simplified. And then if they have ID Shield as well, do the same thing, have them install the app, log in, create their password, and then show them how to submit an identity theft claim, track their monitoring, show them how they can see like if there's any like registered sex offenders in their area. If they qualify for the credit counseling, they can do that through ID Shield as well. So walk them through all these things. Take the time. Don't rush through this onboarding process, because this is going to be the foundation that's laid for you to get referrals, and for you for them to possibly want to sign up as an associate as well. Okay. Then once we've installed all the apps, then you have them go to member perks. So there's 2 ways to get to member perks. You can on your mobile app, on your Legal Shield app, when you go to accounts, if you scroll down like halfway, there's a link that says member perks, and they'll have to create a new account under member perks, but they can use the same login credentials. Again, keep it simple. Have them use the same login credentials for everything. So show them how to install the member perks app, and there is an app called Perk Spot in the App Store, so they can do it that way as well. But once they're logged in, show them how to like pick a category and how to shop for savings. Like if they want to book a flight, show them how to get to the travel site, travel piece. So just kind of help them navigate through the member perks, because that's also going to be a huge selling point, is being able to save money. And Kool-Aid can even speak to that, because he's definitely heavy on the member perks piece when he's signing people up. And then finally, last but not least, once you've gone through steps 1 through 4 and they feel comfortable, get referrals. Okay, there's a whole section, and I'll show you where it is. There's a whole section on how to properly ask for referrals. Mr. Buford created like so many videos and little clips on how to get referrals, how to properly ask for referrals. So make sure that you are not ending that onboarding session without having asked for referrals. Okay. So that's how you properly onboard a new member. Does anybody have any questions? You're on mute, Mr. Buford.
Oh, I was yelling at my kids. Go ahead.
Oh. Having a daddy moment. Is everybody comfortable with onboarding their new members? Is there any part of this that's not clear or you're unsure about, or maybe you've done something different in the past and you want to talk about it, let us know. This is the time to learn. Okay. And again, all this is on our website, so please refer back to it as often as you need to make sure that you can properly onboard your new members. All right, so that's onboarding new members. Now, new associates. And Mr. Buford, you might want to take over here in just a moment, because obviously you have a little bit more insight. But definitely onboarding, this is just as important, keeping your new associates close to the fire, okay? Don't let them get cold. Don't let them psych themselves out of building their business and launching their business, okay? So you really want to get your new associates off to a fast start within the first 7 to 10 days. Now, I know that the Legal Shield has the 20-day threshold for the fast start bonuses, fast start qualifying bonuses, and that's totally fine. But this is Team New Horizons, mind you. So we get it done in 7 to 10 days or less. All right. So really, really take that seriously. Like, make sure that your associates are ready to really hit the ground running and go full throttle, because the sooner they get a belief check, the sooner they're going to start building their business, and they're really going to start, putting a lot of effort into it. And the sooner and that's also going to lay the foundation for referrals, and for them to start, signing up their own associates and building their own teams. All right. So everything's a trickle down effect. So we're going to go to, there is a section dedicated to launching your business on our website. So it's under Journey to Success, and under Success Game Plan is where you will find the Launch Your Business instructions. Is there anything you wanted to add, Mr. Buford, before we go to that page?
Oh man, I got a laundry list, but I'm gonna keep it tight for the time being, but there is something I want to bring to people's attention at the end. But what Ms. Webb is saying is absolutely right? And I just can't reiterate this enough. Because this is the part of the business, psychology of the business, that we often don't talk about. And corporate really doesn't talk about that much in their training as well. But I really want the entire team to zero in on the first 7 days. And quite frankly, when I joined 15 years ago, we were told, get it in the first 3 days. And I really need people to understand why that's so important, to get someone into productivity mode in the first 3 days, right? Because here's the thing. When people initially join, most people, they're at their highest level of excitement, right? They've made the decision to take the first step towards building a business. And for most people have never been successful as entrepreneurs. It's a small group of people who really win as entrepreneurs. And when I say win, I mean earn grown adult income, take care of their families, put kids through school, take vacations, buy the vehicle, right? Most people haven't had that experience. And most people don't have family members who have that experience. So they're very excited emotionally, but they're at their lowest level of competency. And it only takes that best friend, right? Everybody has an opinion. They're kind of like armpits. And some people, just like the armpits stink, their opinions do too, right? It can be that best friend. It can be that mom or that dad, that niece, that aunt, that uncle. It can be, trust me, the people that are talking to your prospects, it's not like they're hating. They just never seen anyone be successful in entrepreneurship, and they haven't seen people be successful, particularly in this type of business model, right? So they think they're protecting your new associate from themselves, right? Why would you spend that money? Why would you spend that time? I haven't seen examples of it. You're wasting. That's the messaging behind it. And the best way to inoculate a new partner from that type of negative messaging is to get a belief check deposited into their account, right? And you have to exercise ownership over that process. Yeah, they're an independent associate, but it's your responsibility when you onboard someone. Now, look, not everybody's going to follow instructions. Not everybody's going to be coachable. Not everyone's going to have an easy time onboarding because of technology, whatever the case may be, but you have to do the best you possibly can to get a belief check in their account. You can't tell them, hey, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 days now, get the app. No, the moment you onboard them, that app needs to be downloaded. Prospect or PPLSI needs to be downloaded on their phone. Because if they don't download that app on their phone, they're going to get on the phone and they're going to start running their mouths, talking to people. And keep in mind, they're at their highest level of excitement, the lowest level of competency. So they're going to be trying to sell people and they're going to run people away. And by the time you schedule that open house, by the time you start doing three-way calls, they've alienated 70% of all the people they know. And in that process, they're going to have people asking them questions they don't have answers to. They're going to have negative commentary. They're going to have people saying all kinds of stuff. People who don't even know who the CEO of the company is, giving them their opinion about the company, right? And I'm telling you, because you may not have a stronger relationship as their wife does with them, right? Or their husband does, that will take them out the business. Aliens will abduct them. So you have to get that prospect by PPLSI app on their phone, like within the first 24, 48 hours. You have to begin helping them right away. Start inviting people to three-way calls with you or with people who are exercising exampleship. You got to do it right away. You have to immediately get an open house on a schedule. And look, I don't care if one person joins the open house or 30 people on an open house, but you got to get people in front of the information where that new associate can see, oh, people will readily receive this. Oh, people will enroll in this. Oh, people will refer to me. Oh, people will take action and help me build my business. This can work for me. This can work for me, right? You got to inoculate them. You got to protect them. You got to put a sheet of armor around them, and that armor is belief. You got to build their belief right out the gate. Because if you don't do it within the first 72 hours, and definitely within the first 7 days, aliens is gonna abduct them. And, Ms. Webb is right. I'm gonna tell you something that, corporate probably doesn't want us sharing. But the fast start qualification rate corporate wide is 10%. It's 10%. Team New Horizons, our fast start qualification rate has historically been between 25 and 30%. I hope you're hearing me here. And right now we're between 20 and 25%, which means we're still crushing the field. Like that includes the Millionaire Club members and their organizations. We have a higher fast start qualification than they do. So that's called a huge clue. That means we're moving in the right direction. Right? But I can't drill this enough. For those of you who are listening in, if you have been Performance Code qualified, if you know how to conduct an enrollment, you know how to conduct an exposure, you've utilized membership, you know everything you need to know to, at the very least, help that person introduce the membership to the people whom they love, know, and trust, and you be involved via third party. So whether you want to start out doing 3 ways with them, fine. You want to schedule an open house within 24 to 72 hours to get the information in front of them, fine. But do it. That's why our fast start qualification rate is so high. And trust me, that's a big deal. $49 for some of us, not a big deal. But keep in mind, a new associate isn't looking at it like that. They're spending their $49. Most people who on board with us, they're getting the legal plan and identity theft, or they're getting the micro business plan. So that means they're spending over $100 out the gate. And for most people, $100 makes a difference in their budget. And every day that goes by, that $100 starts feeling like they spent $250. And then it feels like they spent 1,000. And then because they get negativity, it feels like they spent $5,000-$10,000 and they start getting anxious, right? So I can't reiterate that enough. And I'm glad Ms. Webb brought up the fact that, look, this is Team New Horizons. This is not a corporate training. This is the expectations we set for our organization. This is what we've done historically. That's the bar. And if you meet that bar, your organization will grow rapidly. It will grow fast. You'll have like something called momentum in your business. And I'm telling you, momentum is a beautiful thing. Momentum will cover up your warts. Momentum, if you're not experienced, it'll make you look experienced. When you have momentum, even if you don't know everything, everybody thinks you know everything because of momentum. Okay, so you want momentum on your side, and that's how you get it. Get people paid and promoted within their first 72 hours. Worst case scenario, within their first 7 days. So when you're sitting across the table from someone and they ask whether or not this really works, you can say, look, all I know is 1 out of 3 people in our organization, 1 out of 3 people within their first 7 days, they're getting a deposit in excess of $700 to $1,000. If you could put $100 in an ATM machine and 7 days later, $1,000 would kick out, how often would you do it? All day, every day? All right, let's go. All right, Ms. Webb, I'll turn it back over to you.
Very well put. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, enough said. So let's go ahead to the Launch Your Business page. And like I said, you can also start from Journey to Success and go to Success Game Plan. And there's a link there for Launch Your Business. So for new associates, this is a great place for them to learn about how to launch their business. There is a video, a welcome video from Mr. Darnell Self that they can click on, and they can watch that, you know, for additional inspiration and excitement and enthusiasm to help them fast start their business. So like Mr. Buford said, this needs to be, you know, the first 24 to 48 hours, the first 3 days, all this activity and excitement needs to happen in those first 3 days. So the first thing that your new associate needs to do as being a part of this organization, Team New Horizons, is read and sign our uplifting service agreement. This is the backbone of our business. This is the backbone of our organization. And we stand firm. Sorry, my phone was ringing. We stand firm by these principles that are listed in the uplifting service agreement. So even if you're a seasoned associate, and you've been on this team for, you know, a while now, it does not hurt to go back and read the uplifting service agreement and sign it again, because we're constantly relaunching our business. We're constantly reinvigorating our business. And so we have to make sure that we keep these principles at the forefront. So have your new associate read and sign the uplifting service agreement. It's just a Google form, nothing complicated. Have them read and sign that, and then immediately have them start building their prospect list. And we're not going to spend a whole lot of time tonight, but we will go over how to do a Project 100. And that information is located under TNH Training Camp in the Skills and Activity Center. How to do a Project 100, which basically means making a list of 100 people. And I know you've got more than 100 people in your phone, but make a list of 100, have them make a list of 100 people. Tell them, do not discriminate. Give them all the tools and the tricks that they need to make a proper list, okay? Anyone they can think of, friends, family, associates, places that they you know, stores that they frequent, things like that. Make them, have them build their list, and then schedule their open house. Or like Mr. Buford said, you can start with 3-way calls if they're not ready to do an open house. That's, you know, that's their choice. But we strongly encourage encourage them to do an open house within the first 3 days. Okay, and we have scripts that are also available in the TNH Training Camp under Skills and Activity Center to help you help them invite to their open house. Okay, regardless of how many people show up, if it's 3 people, if it's 30 people, I'll give you an example. I had at my open house, I had like 35 people, and I wish that all 35 had signed up, but I dropped the ball and did not follow up with all 35 people. So it's very important that you follow up, or that the new associate follows up with every single person that attended their open house. And you can't wait 3 days later. If you can follow up that evening, right after the open house, do it. Or if they have to wait till the next day, fine, do it. And follow up with a phone call. Very, very, very important. To the best of your ability, or to the best of your new associate's ability, follow up with a phone call, not a text. Okay, we have to keep them, like I said, close to the fire. So keep that in mind. And then, like Mr. Buford said, download and install the Prospect by PPLSI app, which is our digital marketing mobile app. So and mind you, they do have to have the associate, I think it's called Advantage Plus, which gives them access to Prospect by PPLSI, their back office, and all that other good stuff. So they have to have that part of the plan, which is free for the first month. And after that, it's I think it's $24.95 a month. But if they have that, then they have access to Prospect by PPLSI. And Prospect by PPLSI has all of your videos, all of your 2-minute commercials and things like that you can share with that they can share with new members or new prospects, I should say. All right. So that's within the first 3 days. So that sequence of events alone is going to gear them up to get paid and promoted. Okay. Within the next 4 to 10 days, that's when you want to have them complete their Fast Start training. So they go to Fast Start class. It's in Ellis Engage in the back office, and there's information you can it's hyperlinked here on how to get Fast Start qualified. Okay, so make sure that they get Fast Start qualified, and now we have all these Fast Start bonuses on the table. So that's an additional incentive for them to get Fast Start qualified, and then advance to manager. That's the next step. So we always want to be doing the steps that bring them to manager. Just do the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, advance to manager. Keep doing those steps, and you yourself will be paid and promoted, and they will as well. Any questions so far on how to onboard your new associate? Does anyone want to share any experiences that they've had with onboarding their new associates, or any horror stories? Anything that anyone wants to share?
I would like to share something. I know when you said something about following up, that was one of my biggest things that I didn't do either. And I wish I would have did that, because I've talked to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my failures in my business is not following up. And like when you onboard people, like staying on them and like, not harassing them,
Right.
but just being like supportive and like making sure that they're not in the dark, and they just signing up, and then you talk to them a week later or two, and now they like, what? I don't want to really do this. This is a lot. And then when they get the email and it be so like overwhelming, they just be like, oh, I want to quit. It seems complicated, when it's really not that complicated. Like I said before, I don't know if a lot of you was on the call, like me starting off in a business, I was not taking it as serious because I just was overwhelmed. But follow-ups is definitely important, because if you don't, you follow up with them later, they didn't forgot the information, then you got to send it again. Then it's just a lot of trouble. But like Adia said, when you follow up with them right away, that's your best bet. Not saying everybody's gonna like just come on board, because some people, a lot of times it be finances, or sometimes they just may not, they may know it's valuable but don't know what to do with it. But You know, everybody got different reasons, but it's definitely great to follow up right away.
Absolutely. Yep. That is the fortunes in the follow-up. That phrase is tried and true throughout the test of time. So follow up with every single person who attends your open house. Go ahead, Maya. You have your hand up?
Yep, I do. So, just from my own experience, if you get someone that's overly excited about the membership, i.e., I just want to get to the lawyers, I just want to get to the lawyers, I just want to get to the lawyers. How do I get to the lawyers? How do I get to the lawyers? But they're not listening to the steps to onboard properly and to start their business and to do an open house or to do three-way calls, and they automatically think that they have all of the answers and they just want to, I just want to tell people about how to get to these lawyers. They're not coachable. Even though they're super excited, they're not listening. Because like Sharday said, the onboarding process is not real hard. If you're excited, that's one thing. But if you're not listening or reading the information, you're going to sabotage your business and just fall. You're going to fall through the cracks, or you're just going to give up because you think you got all the answers and you don't, because you haven't done the uplifting service agreement, or if you're told step by step what to do, but you still are not taking it in. It's like, oh, just tell me what to do. If you run into those type of people when you're onboarding or starting a new member or a new associate, you want to backpedal a little bit and really have a conversation with them and say, let's go over the uplifting service agreement together, so that they understand that this is their business, but in order for them to have a successful business, they need to be open to the process that's been proven over the past 50 years.
Exactly. Thank you for that, Maya. Yeah, this is a tried and true system. This formula works. And it's hard-headed people like me that always get in the way and sabotage my own success. So don't be like me. Follow the system. Listen to leadership. Mr. Buford's been doing this for 20-something years. So he's seen all the pitfalls. He's seen all the things not to do. So when he's coaching you, listen. Okay, listen. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to go over this evening, was how to properly onboard a new member or a new associate. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Buford, as we wrap up tonight?
So I really want to lean in on this membership piece, because I think most individuals, when you enroll someone, you're thinking about the upfront compensation. So we're compensated anywhere from $70 to $370 some odd dollars, right? When somebody enrolls in a membership combination, about $60 in premium. Not bad, right? The average Joe is earning $160 when they enroll in membership, right? And that's cool, right? 5 memberships per month. You're doing just under $1,000. If you are Performance Club qualified and you're doing that consistently, you throw additional $500 on top of that. So now you're being paid what? $1,500 a month for 5 memberships. Not bad. 1 membership a week, right? I think we all know people who are working part-time jobs right now, working 20, 30 hours a week to earn that income. And just think about that for a moment. Instead of spending 20, 30 hours in a part-time job, if they just ran themselves 20, 30 hours to get 1 membership a week, they'd earn more than they did at the part-time job, right? So that's phenomenal. But I want to give you a different perspective. And what I want to share with you is something called lifetime value of a client. Lifetime value of a client. I want to give you a little bit of insight into what I'm thinking when I enroll someone. Some of you might be thinking, once again, the 70 to 160 to 300 some odd dollars, right? And then if you're enrolling in business plans, upwards of 800, et cetera, et cetera. Let me tell you what a client's really worth after the upfront compensation. Did you know if a person keeps a membership for approximately 20 years, actually no, it's closer to 10 years, If they keep the membership for approximately 10 years, and of course, this depends on which membership they enroll in, that the average lifetime value of a client is $5,000 because we're paid a residual income, right? And if you knew that sitting down across the table from someone plunks down $60, and you knew if they use that membership, they kept that membership for a period of time, it would pay you $5,000, wouldn't you look at that member a little bit differently? Yeah, because that's how much a member is really worth. A member is not worth that upfront money. The residual income will pay you $5,000. And the numbers I'm giving you is from actually about 12 years ago when I heard this breakdown from Tony Petrell, who's one of the Millionaire Club members who kind of mentored me for a period of time. And when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute. Right? And when you know you're sitting across the table from someone and that person having a good experience is going to pay you $5,000, you start looking at that member a lot differently. But I'm also going to put this in perspective. Let's say hypothetically, over the course of 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, let's say hypothetically you did 500 memberships. So that means you're not tearing it up. You're not crushing it. You're just performance code qualifying. I shouldn't say just, but you're performance code qualifying just on a monthly basis. And let's say it took you 5 years, 10 years to get to 500 clients. I'm going to do some quick math for you. 500 clients times $5,000 is $2.5 million. Are you following me? Some of y'all not taking this business seriously.
Sir.
Some of you didn't call up your partners so they can get on the line tonight because they need to hear this too. They don't understand this. Because if you understood this, you would treat the business like you would treat it like a business. You would be more coachable. You would be willing to pay attention and listen. You wouldn't skip a step. You'd be real idiosyncratic. But yeah, 500 clients, 500 little $60 transactions. Now, there's nothing little about the membership, but in comparison to what you receive, $60 is nothing. Stop it. $60 transactions, 500 pays you 2.5 million. Now, let me break this down for you even further. Let's say your retention is 75%. Now, historically, our organizational retention, just FYI, has always been 85%. And yeah, you're going to have dips. You're going to go up and down, right? But historically, our organization retention has been 85%. The company's retention has been about 70%, right? So I know some of you may be thinking, well, I don't hear this when I'm on the corporate shows, or I'm not hearing this during some of the trainings. We set the bar higher here, which is why many of us are earning more than other people. I'll just put it that way, okay? So 2.5 million, but let's say your retention, I'm just gonna lower it to 75%. So 2.5 million times, I mean, that's still a crazy number. If you really process that. 75% of that, of 2.5 million times 0.75. Okay, my calculator's not cooperating. 2 million times 0.75. So that means if your retention is 75%, that's still $1.8 million. That's crazy. Let's say you divided that over 20 years. That means you put 500 clients on the books. Because I don't even call my people members. I call them clients. Because I know how much they're really worth. You're my client. That's $93,750 per year on average. For $560 transactions. Are you smelling what I'm cooking here? So I'm really glad Ms. Harris came to the line and said, look, sometimes you got to stand 10 toes down. Because you're going to have new people who come into the business and they're going to try to tell you how it should be done. You're going to have people who've been in the business for 2 minutes. You got people who've been in the business for 1 year. Never even achieved senior director or executive director. They're going to try to tell you that they think they know the business better than you do. No, they don't. You stand 10 toes down on this. This is the system. This is how much this company is compensating. I think it's crazy. So that's what this business model will do for you. Right? So don't let anyone tell you this is some little business or this is some little side hustle. I don't know too many businesses where you take on 500 clients that will pay you a residual income of just under $100K per year for 20 years. And if you know of one, please name it. Please share it. Right? Not an upfront income. That's different. I'm talking about a residual income where you know every single month and every single year, it's just going to hit your account. And let me tell you, as a ring earner, man, that residual income lands different. It lands different. It lands different when, look, I don't have to wake up to pay bills anymore. I'm not a multimillionaire yet, but let me tell you, I don't wake up worried about paying rent or mortgage or car note or utilities and stuff like that. That's not what I wake up worried about. I got bigger fish to fry. I worry about other stuff. But can we all be in agreement that if you went to most Americans and said, hey, give me 5-10 hours a week, give me 10 years, and 5-10 hours a week, 10 years, you never have to worry about paying mortgage, rent, car note, utilities again. How many people do you think would take that deal? And let me tell you, that's not even being a ring earner. You don't even need to be a ring earner. That's just 500 clients. Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. You're the only person I can see that gets it for real. She like over there, like, she can't stand still. She rocking from side to side. But anyway, I love it.
She ready.
So yeah, I mean,
ready.
yeah, that's why the trainings like this are so important, right? Because people need to know that this is not a little side hustle. This is not a game. Don't let the $49 associate licensing fee and the $30 and $60 transactions fool you. Don't get it twisted. This business can pay you millions of dollars without that much effort. There are people who enroll 1,000 members over the course of a year. I'm just talking about do it over 10, 20 years. Put whatever number you want to put on it. Do it over 5 years, 10, 20 years. The math is the same. You're going to get paid $2.5 million, $2.5 million in lifetime income with a 75% retention rate. That means not even everyone kept it, right? Not everyone even kept it. 25% dropped it. At 75%, this business can pay you that kind of money part-time. So, and hopefully that kind of breaks down how you should be looking at your members and why the process in Ms. Webb is explained to you. And if I didn't say it, Ms. Webb, phenomenal job as always. Thank you so very much for stepping up and hosting this call. You did an incredible job.
Thank you. And thank you for your leadership. Very, very much appreciated. I hope that you all got something out of tonight's call. Shame on all your associates who did not attend. Obviously, we are recording, so if you go to our YouTube channel, to our TNH playlist, it will be there tomorrow. But yeah, let's do this, y'all. Let's do this. So reach out to your leadership, reach out to your peers. I mean, because we all know how to do three-way calls. We've all listened to this presentation a million times. Okay, so reach out to your peers if you need help getting people enrolled, if you need help getting people, sold, if you will, on the value of this membership. So with that, thank you all so much for your time tonight. And we will see you all back here next week. Same time, same place. Have a good evening, everyone.